All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. We are in the Engage Students with MadLearn. I am going to share my screen so we can have that intro slide ready to go so you know that you are in the right spot. Okay. I'm just going to wait just one more minute to make sure that everybody is here. I see Greg from MadLearn. Welcome, Greg. All right. 24 people already in here. Excellent, excellent. And just going to resend information to Alefiya, our host for today. And as soon as she's in here, we will get started. If you're just joining us now, welcome. My name is Nina. I am from Tech. Welcome to Engage Students with MadLearn. In this session, you're going to learn how to have students turn their ideas into real products and mobile apps using MadLearn's mobile app development platform. Okay, let's just send this one more time. All right, and hi, Greg. I can see you now. Greg, is your audio working? All right.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Greg?
I can. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm great. We're just waiting for Alefiya to come in.
She's waiting. I know she's in the room, I guess.
Oh, yes, I see. All right. Allowed to talk. Okay. More. Promote. Here we go. That should do it. Let's see. There she is. All right.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Ta-da.
Not a problem. Sorry, everybody, and thank you for your patience. I was there. I was like, I'm here, but I don't know how to make it work.
You know,
so thank you, Nina, for figuring it out.
There's nothing like the technical difficulties. And no matter how many times I've Zoomed during this quarantine, there is always just something that happens. But you know, we have a great group in here, so welcome everyone to Engage Students with MadLearn. As you can see, your host for today, Alefiya Master, has joined us. She is an educator turned entrepreneur, the founder and CEO of MadLearn. She comes from a background as a Montessori educator and has created this amazing program which is going to help you keep your students engaged during this time of distance learning, but also, you know, as you begin to enter back into the classroom, she will help show you how MadLearn can also help you make that transition. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now. If you guys can see me, can you see me nice? All right, great. So everyone who is with us, at the bottom of your screen, you will see there is a Q&A icon. Feel free to ask questions throughout the session. Alefiya will help answer those questions, so will Greg. And also feel free to participate in the chat. So let us know where you're from. Maybe if you've used this before, share some stories. We'd love to hear from you. So with that, I'm going to pass the baton onto Alefiya, and let's get started. And Alefiya, just so you know, I'm so sorry. I know we had a late start. Unfortunately, we do have a hard stop time, so just keep that in mind. I know. So you might have to speed up your talking speed, but let me, get out of your way now, and you go for it.
Not a problem, Nina. Thank you so much. And thank you to the awesome tech team for having us. Really excited to be here. And everyone who's on, it's so great to see so many of us on the webinar today. Wonderful to have you. Unfortunately, I can't see you all, and that really, really makes me sad. So I have to ask you for a huge favor. In the chat, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, what you teach or what you do, what part of the country or the world you're dialing in from. We would love to hear from you, just so I don't feel too lonely on this webinar. My name is Alefiya Master, as Nina mentioned, and I'm so excited to share with you some awesome stuff. Today's going to be hands-on, so it's going to be super fast, rapid-fire app development. You're all actually going to see an app that you have developed today in 45 minutes on your phone by the end of the session. So make sure you have your, obviously, hopefully you're on your computer. If you have your phone, make sure you have that accessible. But before we get kicked off, I do want to introduce my amazing, amazing partner in crime and colleague, Greg Stone, who is our Director of Implementation and Curriculum. And Greg is dialing in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Greg, say hello.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all, kind of. I'm looking forward to this hour.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. And I'm here from Atlanta, Georgia. I know we have folks from all over the country. We've actually got several teachers. If a lot of you are in New York, New Jersey region, we've got a lot of teachers in New York. So if you're here and you've done MadLearn, you've used MadLearn before, let us know, give us a shout out. I know we've got teachers all across the state in New York and across the country that are using MadLearn. So welcome to BYOA. This is Build Your Own App. And in case you didn't get the memo, it's also BYOB. It's past 12 o'clock, so whatever's in your coffee mug, I will not judge. But really excited to share with you some of the fun stuff involved with building apps, and not just building apps with students. Of course you can do that, and you should do that, and we're gonna do that. But today, you're gonna build an app yourself. So we have had the craziest end of the school year and the craziest pandemic summer, and who knows what's gonna happen in the fall. And we're all in this, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh mode. But the best that we can do is do things like what you're doing, which is be here, learn new ideas, practice new things, and hopefully we're coming out of this better for it and with new practice and new principles that we can apply for our students either in the classroom or virtually. So think about what it is you teach or what it is you do at your school or district, and think about an idea for an app that you could build today. And you're going to start it today. You're not going to finish it today. We can't finish an app in 45 minutes. But think of an idea that you would like to start on. If I'm a geography teacher or I'm a history teacher, by the way, Greg was a history teacher. I was a Montessori teacher. I used to teach little ones. If I am a history teacher and I'm teaching, one of the modules that I'm teaching in the fall is about the Holocaust, I could make an app for my students to use when I go back to school. And whether it's in person or virtually, I can say, hey students, we're in our virtual classroom, download my app. It's got all of the information that I have or that we're going to need for the next several weeks or the next semester. So think about what you're teaching and let's make an app about that. It could be as simple as that. It could also be, hey, I have this idea of an app that I've wanted to build forever, and maybe this is an opportunity for you to try that. Through the building process, you're going to be able to see how easy it is to think of an idea, to start it, plan it. Of course, you're chatting with me in the chat box because, like I said, I don't like to be lonely. So make sure you tell me your ideas. But we're going to think of ideas and we're actually going to start to build it off. And you'll have access, if you request it, even after this session, so you can continue to build on your app that you started today. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. I'm going to share my screen. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. We will absolutely answer them as we go. We're not going to have a separate Q&A time at the end. So put them in the chat or Q&A box, whatever you're most comfortable with, but make sure you communicate with us because we'd love to make sure we can answer those questions. So let me see if I can share my screen. Nina, I do. User error. Okay, I've got my screen pulled up and hopefully you can see that. This is our MadLearn website. It's just mad-learn.com. And Greg, if you could put that in the chat, we're all going to go to this website. So open up a new tab on your computer and go to mad-learn.com. And we're going to go through the 6-step rapid design thinking process. So we're going to start with ideation, Planning, design, build, test, and launch. All 6 steps, kind of in a rush, just to see what it's like to do that and to see how easy it could be for students to do this in any classroom. You don't just have to be a computer science teacher or a coding teacher or a STEM teacher, all, by the way, awesome teachers and good places to start. But even if you don't know how to code, I do not know how to code, and I run a tech company. And this is something that I share with students all the time. It's not about the code. Code is so important and so critical, but not every one of us is into that. And that's okay. If you are, take it, run with it. There's lots of coding opportunities. If you're not, do the design, do the marketing, do the ideation, do the planning, do the other kinds of building. You don't have to know how to code, but you do have to have ideas. And so that's what we're going to start with and go through that thinking process. So everyone click on the blue button at the top right of your screen that says login. And you're going to log in with me. And the login that we have for today is madlearn, all one word, at tech.com. And Greg, if you don't mind putting that in the chat, it's madlearn@tech.com. And the password is madlearn. We're all going to log in as the same person today, just to make it easy. So click on that login button, go ahead and log in. madlearn@tech.com is the username, and the password is madlearn, all one word, all lowercase, shouldn't matter either way. So you're in MadLearn. MAD stands for Mobile App Development, and our program is empowering and engaging students with taking their ideas and turning them into real apps and real products through a very simple process. This is what you see as an educator. Students will see a little bit differently, but as an educator, you're going to see the curriculum section. You're going to be able to manage your users. There's analytics and support, ways for you to contact us, all of that good stuff that you have access to. Kids will have the first 3 buttons and videos coming soon in ideas, plans, and apps. So that's just a little bit of an overview of what you're looking at. One very important thing that I want you to make sure that you can remember, at the top right here, we have this little YouTube button icon that's changing color, purple and blue. Click on that. That is a YouTube channel or YouTube list of amazing tutorial videos, and you'll see some and hear some familiar voices and faces, but tutorial videos that will help students do anything they need to do with app development. Even if you're not able to show them live, you can just say, hey, watch this video, make sure you can click on that and get access and learn how to do whatever you need to do. So make sure you click on that and check it out. Watch the videos if you do want to, even after today, so you can see and kind of go a little bit more in depth. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to think of an idea. And speaking of ideas, and Greg, you can put this in the chat as well, please. Pull out your phone and everybody download this app called Mad Store. It's M-A-D Store. It's our version of the App Store. So any app that you make with MadLearn, the apps that you're going to make today, you can instantly see and use on your phone or on the web through the Mad Store mobile app. This is the web version of it, so you can look at different apps. There's hundreds of apps here that students across the world have created that are amazing, inspiring, just absolutely wonderful apps that kids have come up with. This one was an app that a student in Washington State created just over the summer. It was a summer camp that she was a part of, and she created a Black Lives Matter app. And it is absolutely amazing to see how she's organized her information into how you can learn more about the movement, how you can act, and then of course provide her feedback. So check out this app on your phone. You can take a look at it, click through it. You'll see in her in terms of learning about the movement. Here's a little bit about her, about websites. Here's some actual real good media and outlets that she's researched. There's also ways for you to act and help support the movement. Really inspiring stuff. So take a look at it. Lots of other ideas here that I'd love for you to take a look at and just play with and see what students have done, from apps about, book reports to math apps, science. Refugees was another app that a student here in Atlanta created. Bullying stops, anti-bullying. This one is another one that was just so inspiring. And I have to tell you the story of this particular app. It's called Pizza Clutch. And by the looks of it, you'd think, okay, this is a cool, pizza delivery app. This is kind of interesting. She created a domestic violence undercover app. And it is basically an app, and she's not done. She just started it last week. But it is an app to help people in domestic violence situations get help, but not have something on their phone that potentially a partner could see and actually have more abuse happen because they're in trouble for asking for help. So it's a Undercover app where you can look at a menu and actually pick an order, a pizza, based on how bad the abuse level is. And when you send that in, the hotlines are getting the information and they're able to help you in that situation. Again, still very much in process, but amazing, amazing idea and resources that she is creating for us to be able to leverage and share. So make sure you download that app, make sure you take a look at it. Definitely would love for you to tell us what you think about apps that you're seeing on there. The first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to create an idea board together, and we're going to put a bunch of our ideas on there. So let's call this the Tech Virtual Summit Board. And if you're logged in and you refresh your screen or click on ideas, you'll see this with me. But go ahead in the chat, tell me some of the ideas of what you would like to build. What is an app idea that you have, or something that you teach that you would like to have an app for, or even if it's as simple as an app for your school, if you don't have an app for your school already. In the chat, go ahead and tell me some of your ideas. I'm going to put them onto the board right now. Love to hear, what are some ideas of an app that you wish you had or you'd like to make, or a problem that you'd love to solve if you could figure out a way to create an app for it. So I see one idea is a puppet app. Okay, awesome. Puppet app, we'll add that on there. Okay, tell me more, tell me your ideas as they're coming in. Okay, I see remote learning resources, awesome. Okay, what else? What are some other apps and app ideas that we can think, and think of this as a virtual, whiteboard. It's Post-it notes you're putting on the board. You can actually create a board like this and share it with your entire classroom, and kids can add their own ideas to the board as a collaborative space, or they can have their own private board and have that be what they did, and that's cool. Okay, music classroom app, awesome. Okay, music classroom. What else? I'm seeing anyone else? I know we've got some login issues. Thank you, Greg, for helping us with that. That's awesome. Let me know some other ideas that you have for an app that you would like to build. It could be an app about anything you're teaching. It could be an app about something with your family or your community, your school, anything at all. Think of a problem that you have, and if you wish you had an app to help solve it. Okay, student activities. I like it. Activities. I think I know how to spell. Depends on the day. Oh, I see some other app ideas that are being added in. Great. Gardening tips just got added into there. Good job, guys. Puppets. Put that one in. Drone locations. Okay. Free drone locations. Awesome. There's probably some I missed. AP Biolab help. Ooh, I would need that. AP Biolab helper. Okay, awesome. So great ideas. You can keep adding to this. Again, when you log in, we're all the same person right now, so you may have to refresh a little bit, but go ahead and click on ideas and you'll see our board, and you can continue to add ideas to this. When you're working with kids, you could also do fun stuff like comment and do likes on ideas and vote for ideas, different ideas that you'd like to build or not build. People say there's no idea that's a bad idea. That's actually not true. There are some bad ideas, or there are some ideas that have just been done already. So kids want to research, you want to research and make sure that the idea that you're thinking about is a good one for you to start on. So lots of ideas here. Super glad to see that. The next step of the process is the planning. And after you have an idea and you've thought of an idea for your app, you want to really think about and plan what that app is going to be or do or have in it. Hopefully we're all familiar with mind maps, or just kind of drawing out a sketch for what you're thinking and planning. We're going to create a mind map here. And if you haven't had experience with mind maps, super easy. It's just kind of creating a tree and a branch. It could be hierarchical. It could be any other cool way you want to design it. But go ahead and click on plans, and then click on create a mind map. Depending on when you did that, it could be in the button is in the middle or at the top right. It'll say create a new mind map, and name what your mind map is going to be. So I love the gardening tips idea. So I'm going to steal that one, whoever put that in. Gardening and I'm gonna put my initials just because. So gardening tips, I do have a garden out in the back, and we've got corn and basil and peppers and all kinds of stuff growing. So here is where I want to think about and plan the main sections or main ideas for the app that I'm about to develop. So I'm going to name it in the, if I can spell, in the middle, gardening, because that's the name of my app. And then I'm going to use this plus sign to kind of drag out branches. And you want to think about at least 3, maybe more, main themes or sections of your app. So think about the name of your app as the title of the book. And then what you're creating here are the main subsections or the chapters in your book. What do you want to have? What do you want to show somebody? What do you want to have in as content or information or experience in your app? I know we had some apps about AP Biolab and puppets and drones. So think about what are those main themes, those main categories that you want in your app. While you're doing that with me, I'm going to think about the main categories of my gardening app. So seasons, herbs, all kinds of herbs. Vegetables and fruit. Okay, so those are the main themes that I want to have for now in my app. I can come back and change this. I can do that at any time, but I just want to make sure I can quickly have some main themes. The more time you spend on this, you want to build out under each section. What do you want to have? And kind of really think through and plan your app. We're just going to go a little quick today. So go ahead and click that green button that says save. Save your mind map. Make sure it is saved. And even if it just has 1 or 2 branches on it, that's totally cool. But you want to just think of some initial ideas for your app. So go ahead and click on that save button, and I'm going to go back to our plans section. And I know we've got a few awesome. We've got a few mind maps that have been started, activism and music. Again, we're all the same person, so we can all see each other's work, not a problem. So you should be in a screen that looks kind of like this, where you've created your mind map. And I see a question from Terrence about, will this be available later? This is being recorded, so a recording of the session will be shared with us after the session. And Nina, if you could confirm that for us, I do want to make sure that we can send this out. And if not, we will absolutely be sharing videos and logins with you guys after the session, so don't worry.
We are recording.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so once you're in here, you've got a little bit of a mind map started. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to click that green button that says Create App. It's at the top right of your screen. Go ahead and click Create App. And we're going to go actually into the next step, which is building our app out. So this is the name of my app. I'm just going to keep it as Gardening AM for now. You can name your app whatever you'd like. If it says whatever you pick as your name, if it gives you an error, it's because there's already an app of that same name in the system. And just like App Store can't have 2 apps with the exact same name, you're going to have to think of some other creative name. So once you've done your mind map, which was the first part of that 3-step process here, the next step that we're in is design. So here we have a gallery of images that you can pick any one you want. The only one you cannot pick is the first one, which says blank theme, because we do not have time today to design all of our logos and home screens and splash screens. Of course, the kids do this and they love it. We have really cool, awesome resources to show them what to do and how to do it. But for today, pick any one of these designs that you would like for your app. So whatever you think floats your boat, whatever you think matches the theme of the app that you're building, go ahead and pick one that you like. And I actually like Flourish, and I think that goes with my garden theme. So I'm going to pick Flourish. You'll see that pop up on the right to make sure you've selected your design correctly. So go ahead and pick a design and click Next. And under design, there's kind of 3 subsections that we have. There's the actual gallery of images, there's specific, all of the designs that we have, and then actually figuring out the layout of your home screen. So here, we're not gonna touch this at all, because we don't have time. But later, you can come back in and you can download any of these images. You can create your own images and upload them into Madlearn to see them on your phone. If you don't like the images from the gallery, totally fine. Come back, redesign your own and upload them. But here's where you would do it. But we're just gonna click through that and click Next. And here you're gonna pick a layout for the home screen. Your home screen is your main screen. When you open any app, it's the main screen that you see. There's 6 options here. You can pick any one you want. I think I'm gonna pick oval because I like ovals. You can play with the colors here if you want, the shapes, the sizes, all of that fun stuff. If you want, play with it. You can come back and play with it later. But go ahead and again, click next until you get to a screen that looks kind of like this. And this is the main part of our building process. It should say content, and that should be highlighted on your screen. You should be in the section that says content. And if you're not, or if you're kind of lost, just ask questions in the chat. Greg will help you out. I'm so glad Greg is here. So just ask questions in the chat. But you should be in a page that looks kind of like this, that says content on the top. And this is where we're building out screens. We're building out screens in our app to be able to see them online or on our phone. And this is what students have so much fun with. And let me just show you what we're looking at so that we can play with it a little bit. So if I want to add a new screen to my app, all I do is click on the big green plus sign that says add screen. And then I have a series of screen types or templates or features that I can pick from and drag and drop into my app. So for example, if I want a photo gallery in my app, I just click on that, I drag it into the middle, and I've got a photo gallery here that I can now add photos. And you see here, there's my working area that opens up on the right. I can add photos. I'm going to name it. Make sure you name your screen. So this is my photo gallery, and all I have to do to add pictures in here is select files from my computer and upload them, and I'm good to go. Let's put this one in. I don't remember what this was, but it's probably something funny. And so we'll see what that picture is. It's a Zoom picture. So I just upload the image to my photo gallery, and I'm able to save that. And now I have a new screen in my app that I've developed that is a photo gallery. So lots of different screen types, lots of different options here for you to play with. I do want to show you an important part of this though, that is really fun for the kids and also essential. So our home screen is where we start. That's sort of your table of contents, right? Here's where you get started. This is the first screen you want to build out. And what you want to build out here is based on what you planned in your mind map. So I have my home screen right now. I just have one button that says about, but I had 4 ideas that I thought of for my garden. So I'm going to add some new buttons. And then if I click on any one, it opens up, as you see on the right, a very easy, I can change the text, the color, I can, make it what I want it to be. So my first one was seasons. My next one was herbs, I think. And then I had vegetables. Wow. Vegetables and fruits. Okay. So those were the 4 main sections that I wanted to create in my app today. So I'm going to create those buttons, rename them, and save. And there actually is, kids hate the fact that there's a manual save. There's a save button and they have to click that save button. The reason we built that is because we actually were trying to make sure that we could emulate as closely as possible a real coding working environment for the students. And our coders and our developers don't have auto save. They have to save and they have to compile their code and upload their code and make sure that they can test that before they're able to see if what they created worked correctly or not. So even though we live in a Google world where everything automatically saves, we do want to teach the kids and remind them that saving is important. So I just built out my home screen, and as you can see, there's 4 buttons on here. If I want to preview that, I click on preview on the bottom. It'll open up a web preview for me, and I can see the 4 buttons that I've created. Now, if I click on any one of them, they're not going anywhere because I haven't created any screens yet, or I haven't programmed them yet. So I'm about to get there. In terms of creating your screens, I showed you one that was a photo gallery, but there's lots of other really fun and amazing screens for you to play with. Of course, we won't be able to get through all of them today, but go ahead and click on add screen and play with, and we're going to take just a few minutes to play with some of these screens. So there's an inner menu screen, which is a sub menu, right? If you need that. There's a custom template, which I'm going to show you just a little bit. This one is really fun, very, very simple. If you want to create components of your screen, you can have a header in there. You can add a picture, a video. If you want to have little checkbox kind of quiz-like questions, you could do that. But you can add and subtract components that you want to this screen and then build it out to be what you want it to be. And I'm going to call this one herbs. Because I want to make it be my herb screen. But I'm going to save that and have a new screen that I've created, even though it's just blank right now. But I'm going to add a video here. I'm going to add a picture. I'm going to add content that I would like as I'm developing this particular screen out. So definitely check that one out. A lot of fun. Once I've saved it, and here's your key. Here's something to remember. Every time you create a screen and you save it, you should see that new thumbnail come up at the top. As you continue to build out screens, you'll see that list continue to grow, so that at any point in time, you can come back to a screen and you can work on it and edit it and link it correctly based on what you'd like to do. So I'm gonna come back to my home screen, and I'm actually gonna add one more button, which I'm going to call Photos. And save that. Now I've created a new button that is Photos, and there's an option here that says Link Screen. And this I'm going to link to my photo gallery screen because I just created that. So every time you create a screen, you want to make sure there's somewhere in your app that links to that screen so it can actually be seen, and then save that. So now when I look at my app on my phone, I'll be able to click on that button and it'll open up my photo gallery that I just built. A couple other screen types that I want to share with you. There's HTML, which of course, if you know, this one's actually pretty simple. If you do not know HTML code, that's fine. Like I said, I don't know how to code. So I would just use this text box right here and copy paste in anything that I'd like. Let me steal something from our website. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste, and I see that content come up on my screen here. However, if I am kind of interested in HTML, or if I want to play with it a little bit, I could click on this handy little source code button and it'll pop up sort of a behind the screens window. Here's the HTML source code for this particular page. So I can go in, I can edit this code, type in whatever I'd like, and see it immediately reflect on my screen. And this is not actually anything to do with vegetables, but I'm just naming it vegetables because I'm going to pretend it's my vegetable screen, and have that new HTML type of screen that I've created. Another one, which is really fun, and actually, Greg, if you're here, I know I don't see you on video, but if you could show yourself and tell us a little bit about the HCJ Builder. I know this is your favorite type of screen. Tell us about this one. What's so cool about the HCJ Builder screen type? Oh, and Greg, we cannot hear you. Nope. And I know you're not on mute, so I don't know why that's happening. But I'll go over it a little bit, and I'll tell you, Greg has been obsessed with this one for a while because there's so much that you can do with this. HCJ stands for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And so again, if you're into code, or if you're wanting to dabble into it, we have an awesome code library, which I'll show you in just a second, that has hundreds of different options of code that you can copy and paste into this screen and see it immediately on your phone. You could also edit it and tweak it and change it a little bit, just a little bit here, a little bit there, and see what happens as you get more and more familiar with these different types of code. So for those of you that know any of these programming languages, you can absolutely come in here, type code, write it out, play with it and see how that shows on your screen. But really fun to play with that one if you want to get a little bit more advanced. If you have younger kids, we have elementary kids, middle school kids, and high school kids that all use Madlearn and build amazing apps. Of course, the depth and the complexity will change based on how old they are, and what you're teaching and how much time you have to work with them. So again, that YouTube channel at the top right here, that YouTube button, make sure you click on that, open that up. Lots of really great how-tos. Everything that I'm saying right now now has said in much better and more clear terms on that YouTube channel. So make sure you take a look at it. But there's HCJ, there's video galleries, there's a way for you to link to another website. There's even augmented reality, so you can play with that a little bit if you'd like. But let's go ahead and take 5 minutes. We're all gonna take 5 minutes. I know I just threw a whole bunch of stuff at you, but hopefully you're in and you're playing with it as I'm talking. Go ahead and take 5 minutes and build out some screens. You're in your app, build out a screen or two, link it correctly. If you don't know how, let us know. We'd love to answer some of those questions, and I'm gonna go through the chat while we're doing that and answer some questions that have come up. But go ahead and start to build some screens into your app and make sure you save them so you see those screens pop up on the top for you. And then I'm going to show you how to look at your app on your phone. So go ahead and take 5 minutes, and I'll be here for questions. Okay, Terrence, good question. So in terms of linking screens, click on your home screen. Make sure you've built out your home screen with whatever buttons you want on your home screen. And any button that you click on the home screen, you will see on the right a section that says link screen. And when you click on that, all of the screens that you've built so far will show up. So you can link it to whichever screen you'd like. I just created a vegetable screen, and so I'm going to link it to that one. Awesome. Okay. Lori, you have a question. So you did get our email addresses. They're in the chat, so make sure you save those, and I'll put up a contact page as well. In terms of access, so Madlearn, we do have, with this workshop today, we are giving you a 30-day trial to Madlearn for you to go in and play, build your apps, test it if you want in whatever way, for you to get started and actually start doing it with your students. You do want to talk to Nina and the team at Tech. They are the people that can help you get started with licenses for you, but we do have, if you want your licenses currently, we're going to send you a form, and I'll put the link to the form in the chat in just a second. If you like what you see today, if you think this is something that would be fun to do with your students or even just for yourself, go ahead and fill out that form. Let us know who you are, let us know how many licenses you'd like, and we will work with Tech and your team and make sure that we can get you what you need for the start of the school year. So don't hesitate to do that. I'm going to put that link in just 1 second, but thank you for asking that question. Swapna has a question about the designing part. Okay, so let me just go back. I'm in the content part of my app right now. If I click back there to my mind map, I can get to my planning section. If I click back to design, I can go back to the design section of my app. And within design, I've got three parts. Images, Swapna, probably is where you want to go to upload your own designs. So click on that, click on any of these images. If you want a new logo, for example, you can upload your own logo. Make sure you follow the recommended resolution and upload that, and you'll see that on your app instantly. So you can toggle back and forth between your content, your design, and your plan at any point in time. And as always, click on the Madlearn logo and it'll take you back to the dashboard. And it'll take you to see some of the apps that we've already started building in this session today. Awesome, I love that you guys are working with me. I can't wait to see and hear from some of the things that we've started. So let me go back into my app, but good question, Swapna. Let me see, what else do we have in here? Lori, I'm so glad to hear your students are going to love it. We have seen students, teachers across the country, across the world, just be able to think about technology creation and computer science and coding in a less scary way, right? You know, sometimes we can get scared by it. Sometimes we can feel like, oh, that's not for me, or oh, I'm not sure. You're all just building an app now. You know, 45-minute webinar and you're just getting started, there's so much more that you will play with and there's so much more that you'll learn. But it can be very, very simple. It can also, we have teachers that do it as a one-day camp. We have teachers that do it as a full semester long or a full year long class. And so it's really, really flexible in terms of, it could be as simple as a PBL tool. You're, you know, like I said, you're teaching history, and instead of having your students writing yet another boring paper, you could say, you know what, build an app on the Roman Empire instead, and that's your assignment, turn that into me. So lots of, you know, different options there. So hopefully you've had a chance to build some screens. I would love to have any of our teachers in the room who have started their app. If you could, in the chat, tell me that you'd like to just show us what you've done so far, and it's totally fine if it's very little because we've had very little time. But tell us, just put in the chat if you have started your app in Madlearn and if you have started to build and you'd like for me to pull it up and show it. I'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and put it in the chat. Let me know if you'd like to volunteer. Tony, no problem. If you're lost, and I am lost most of my life, so I totally feel you. If you're lost, all you need to do is click on this YouTube button at the top right and watch the very first video. That's an overview of Madlearn, and I think that'll get you started in a really good way. But make sure you do log in. The login again is madlearn@tech.com. Is the username, and the password is Madlearn, and that's just for our session today. I'm going to give you actual real logins for you right after this workshop. But just for now, if that's something that you'd like to do, just go to mad-learn.com, hit login with those login credentials, and you'll be pretty much where we are. So Ellen, thank you for your feedback. You say this is fantastic. What a great way for teachers and students to learn how to do this and show students how easy it can be. You're absolutely right. Very, very glad to hear that feedback. Okay, great. So one thing that I want to make sure, and I don't see any teachers volunteering, so I'm not going to call anyone out. I won't call out Piano Lab or manipulating or activism or any of that cool stuff. I won't do it since you're not giving me permission, but I'll go back to my gardening app. And I want to make sure you can see your app on your phone. So everybody pull out your phone. Absolutely everyone, whether you've built your app or started your app or not, pull out your phone and click on open up the Mad Store mobile app. So you should have hopefully downloaded that Mad Store mobile app. Make sure you do that. At the bottom of my screen, I have a button that says Get App Preview Code. I'm going to click on that button and make sure that I can generate my 9-digit code. Each app that you build with Madlearn has its own unique code assigned to it. So I'm generating my code right now. As soon as I get my code, I'm going to put that into my phone and see the app that I just started, which has nothing meaningful in it yet because I'm just started it. But open up your phone, go to Mad Store, and hopefully you've downloaded it. It's a free app on the App Store, Google Play Store. Go ahead and download it and put in my 9-digit code. It is 196179921. That is my code. I'm going to put it in the chat as well. In case you're not able to see my screen, but if you do put that code in, you'll see it'll open up for you as the gardening app. And I've got my buttons there that are seasons, herbs, photos, anything else that I've created. And for the ones that I clicked on, they actually do work and it opens up the photo gallery that I created. So as simple as that, you create your screens, you link them, you save it, and then you're able to see your app on your phone and actually able to test it, manipulate it, share it, and continue to make updates. So make sure that you do that. I'd love for you to see, of course, your own app. If you've started your own app, go ahead and generate your preview code. It's at the bottom of your content section. If you're in the content section at the very bottom, there's a button that says Get App Preview Code. Make sure you click on that, get your code, save that number, and you can open up the app that you just started in our workshop today. So We have a question from Ellen. Would love to find out how to get this for a few schools, maybe share pricing. Absolutely, Ellen, great questions. Nina will get in touch with you about that and make sure you can have pricing and all of the details around procuring this for your schools. Happy to help. And like I said, we're here to figure this out. We know we're going through crazy times. So we just hope that this can be a helpful, useful tool for students to be able to experience, whether they're in classroom or they're working from home. Everything that we just did virtually. It's all cloud-based, it's all online. So all you really need to do is get the kids access and let them create magic, because they will do it all on their own. I do want to quickly, and please do, as you are thinking through things, ask questions, love to make sure we can answer those questions. I want to make sure I can send you something very important, which is this. So hopefully you're still seeing my screen. Go ahead and scan that code, or I'm going to put that link in the chat so that you can fill out this form. This is your license request form. So if you liked what you saw today or what you heard, I know some of you are in the car and driving and you're just listening. If you like what you heard, and you think this is something you'd like to do with your students, let us know. Fill out this form. Make sure you can, put in all of the information, your request for the licenses that you would like, ideally, right? Think about ideal case scenario. How many students would you like to have access to this and to be able to build apps this year? Let us know, and we will absolutely work with you to make sure we can figure that out one way or another. So scan that code. I'm going to copy that link real quick here and put it in the chat as well. And make sure you do fill that out before we end the workshop today. So make sure you can look through that, and let us know what you need, let us know what you'd like, and we will work with you to figure that out. Swapna, you asked about cost. It really depends. It's volume based or site based. If it's a district looking at multiple schools within the district, it's based on number of schools. So it really does depend on what you need or what you would like to have access to. But we will, again, like I said, we'll get in touch with you if you fill out this form and let us know what you want. We will be in touch and we'll make it happen for you. What are some other questions that we have? And Greg, actually, if you could let me know if there's anything major that I missed. I know this was super rapid fire app building for beginners, and hopefully you're able to get in and at least look around a little bit and have a chance to experience MadLearn just a touch. So make sure you do fill out this form. I put the link in the chat and also scan that code right there. Make sure you fill that out. But what are some other questions that we have? I see a question from an anonymous attendee about course information in email. Happy to do that. If you could just, whoever just sent that question, just make sure you fill out the form, this form right here, scan that code or click on that link. Let me put that link in the chat again. Make sure you click on that form so that we can fill that out, put your questions, your comments in that form. If there's specific things that you need or you'd like to have, let us know so we can get that to you. But thank you for answering or asking that question. Ellen, did you get the form link in the chat? Did that come up? Oh, I'm just sending it to all panelists. That's the issue. My bad, sorry. There we go. Thank you guys for helping me realize that mistake. Okay, great. So that chat, the form is in the chat and it's also up on the screen, so you can scan that either way. Okay, so David has a good question. Is the app that's created, can that only be seen through the MadStore app? As included in your license package, yes. So if you have licenses to MadLearn, you can build a million apps, you can see them on the MadStore at no additional cost, and you can share them and use them as real working apps through the MadStore. However, if you or your students create an app that you think is awesome and you want to have it publicly available, not through MadStore, but as its own app in the Apple Store or Google Play Store, we can absolutely help with that as well. There's some additional costs, annual sort of hosting costs associated with that. But if you have an app that is to that level and you think, let's say the students created an app for your school and it was such a great app that, principal loves it, all the teachers love it, parents love it, and you wanted it to be its own individual app, we can absolutely take it out of the Mad Store and host it for you separately as a private app. And like I said, there's just some extra hosting costs with that, but good question, David. Okay, Taryn says, once the student has designed and viewed the app on the App Store, can anyone simply download it or how? Okay, good, Terrence, thank you for that question. So I just made an app today and I have nothing really on my app. So I'm only sharing my app code with you guys because this is a private, safe space. You know what I'm doing. I'm okay sharing my code with you. If I have developed a lot of my app and I'm ready to share it with more people, I have a few different options. The first thing is I can just share my code with them. And I can say, hey, Terrence, here's my app code. Download the Mad Store, put in this code, and look at my app. Or I can request for my app to be published to the Mad Store. So all of the apps that you're seeing as publicly available on the Mad Store, you don't need a code for those. Those are ones that have gone through many processes of approval, just like you have to have an app be approved to get onto the App Store. Same way you have to have an app be approved before it gets onto the public Mad Store. So if your app is at a place where it meets the criteria, we'll review it, we'll make sure it meets all the guidelines, and then can be publicly published on the Mad Store so that anybody can see it, even if they don't have your code. And then the third and final way is to take it out of the Mad Store and put it as its own separate app on App Store and Google Play Store. So you have your 9-digit code, you have it published on the Mad Store, or you have it published on the App Store. Great questions. You guys are asking such good questions. Okay. What else do we have? Any other questions, comments? I'd love to hear from you what you think this would be for your students. Do you think this would be helpful? Do you see some, potential pitfalls? Do you see some excitement? Do you see some, not so much? Love to hear from you. So feel free to share in the chat or the Q&A if there's other questions that you have, but love to hear if you think this might be something that is helpful for you as you begin what is going to be a rocky and unknown fall, but we will figure it out because together we are absolutely better. And so we're all here to share ideas and make sure that we can continue to learn and grow as we're going through this roller coaster ride together. Tammy has a question about phone types. So if you have an iOS device, an Android device, phone, or tablet, you can see your app through that Mad Store mobile app. As long as you can download the Mad Store mobile app on your device, you can see your app. In terms of building, you cannot build your app on a phone. So we've had that question before, and it's a valid question. Today, Madlearn is not accessible to build your app from your phone. It's just too small of a surface area for you to actually be doing the complex building. So you do need to have a laptop, a desktop, a Chromebook, a tablet, even if it's an iPad or Android tablet. So some sort of a larger device where you can connect to the internet, get onto a browser, ideally Chrome, and log in. So it's pretty flexible in terms of devices, and whatever you build online, you can see on an iOS or an Android device on your phone. And David, I think I just answered your question. Okay, perfect. Is the training available on YouTube? Ellen, very good question about training. So this actually was just an introduction, fun workshop. This was not a training. I promise you, I suck at training. Greg is amazing, and he does really, really good in-person, when possible, or virtual professional development and training with all of our teachers. So you'll be working with him in depth to make sure you know everything you need to know. And are able to work with students very effectively. So yes, I promise I'm just here to meet you guys and say hi. Okay. Oh, and Tammy, thank you. You think it's a wonderful way to bridge distance learning gap and can learn with students. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. And Greg says, if you're using iPads, it's Safari, not Chrome, of course. So sorry about that. Yes, iPad, Safari, and any other device, Chrome, Firefox, and you should be good. I see lots of other comments and ideas that you're sharing. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Please, 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 if you are on Twitter, go ahead and put your Twitter handle in the chat. If you want to, if you want to connect with us, of course, let us know. Hopefully you filled out the form. The QR code to that form is here as well. And I'll put that in the chat just one more time in case you have not filled out this form yet. Make sure you fill out the form. But I want you to meet each other and talk to each other. We are only as good as all of us together in the room. So make sure you're able to connect with even one other person on this call. Hopefully you saw where people are dialing in from and how, I'm going to stop my screen share real quick, and how you're able to interact with each other. So just, talk to each other and tell us if you're on Twitter. We'll follow you. We'd love to learn more about what you're doing. But really appreciate you being here and being a part of the Tech summer virtual learning workshops. I know there's lots going on, and we really appreciate you being here and spending a little bit of time with us. So feel free to hang out. We're going to be here for a few more minutes. And if you have any other questions, let us know. But thank you for being here. Oh, Angie, thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear you think kids would love it. We can't wait to see what you do with your students. So one thing I almost forgot, we love doing virtual classroom visits. So when you're meeting with your kids in whatever way in the fall, if you'd like for Greg or I or both of us to come in and say hi to your kids, share a little bit about our story. I'm an educator turned entrepreneur. I love inspiring kids to take their ideas and turn them into real products. So if you'd like for us to come in, do a virtual classroom visit, help out with what you're teaching at any point, just let us know. You have our email addresses, and if not, follow us on Twitter. I'm Alefiya EDU on Twitter. I just put that in the chat, but we'd love to hear more.
Alefiya, thank you so much again for today. This was wonderful.
You are so welcome, Nina. Absolutely, it's our pleasure. Were there any other questions? Anything I missed? I want to make sure I can get to that before we adjourn. Nina, did you have anything else for us or any of the attendees?
No, we're good on our end.
Awesome. Well, and again, we'll be here for just a couple more minutes, but everyone, thank you so much for joining us and for being a part of this workshop.
All right.
Terrence, did you have a question? Go ahead. Or maybe that was just goodbye. I'm not sure, Terrence. I just saw a hand come up. Terrence, we're going to send you, if you filled out the form, and I put that link in again, if you filled out that Google form, we will send you a specific login for you with your email address. So make sure that you do fill that out for us. Awesome, perfect. And Nina, I don't know if there's a way for you to send this, with the follow-up of the recording, but for everybody who was on the workshop today, if we can also put in that Google form link to make sure that if anyone wants licenses, we can get them to.
Great. Yes, I'm going to send you all of the our today's attendees, so you'll have their information as well.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I'm going to end this meeting, but everyone, thank you so much again. Really, truly appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed learning about MadLearn as much as we did.
It's our pleasure, Nina. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Greg, thanks for being here. Everyone have a great afternoon and enjoy the other amazing sessions that Tech has put together for us. So thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.